Yes, and it was on my mind. I don't think it was on their mind. I just wanted to make sure that we played well enough in the first half where we didn't even need to necessarily meet, because I wanted to enjoy halftime, and I wanted our players to be out there to see it. It was amazing. Dwayne is just sensational. Look, he has all the qualities of a champion, of a winner, of a Hall of Fame player, and talent, but his humanity, empathy, and his ability to articulate his feelings separates him from everybody else. It was hard not to get emotional at halftime. And again, it was awesome for our players to see that, and then to be able to finish it off when there could have been a lot of emotions that could have led to a distraction. But our guys, saw the big picture. We want to fast track this and get connected and play better basketball.
And Spo, speaking on that, in terms of the emotions of it, he spoke last night on the stage with you. What was it like when he found out that you were going to be coaching him? But obviously, coming full circle tonight, when he talked about, obviously, your relationship with him, just completely away from basketball. Like, what was going through your mind when he was saying those words out there at halftime?
Yeah, that's what Dwayne and I have talked about a lot, the last several months last year. And we almost were able to get a do-over, and you spend so much time together over the years and a lot of different places in our careers. There's success, and sometimes if you're just going along that journey, you're focused on things from your lens, and I think that's probably what we both fell into. And then when he left, it just gave us a totally different perspective. And when the opportunity arose for him to come back, it was like a reignition of our relationship. It was so special, from my standpoint, because it was like going all the way back to the beginning with a totally different maturity level to be able to enjoy it. I really enjoyed last year, every single minute of being able to work with him and coach him and enjoy that relationship with a much deeper perspective and sense of gratitude. I love that word that he used, than I could have had, 12 years ago. I just was not emotionally mature enough, to be able to get to that kind of space. But I'm just incredibly grateful, for those last, that last year and a half. And it's something I'm going to take away with me for the rest of my career. I of course, I'm going to be able to tell my sons as they get older, I coached Dwayne Wade. That's going to be pretty special.
Hey, Spo, congratulations on a big weekend, obviously, with Wade. In the pamphlet last night at the celebration, in the letter you wrote, you mentioned the unseen hours early in your career together. What stands out from those unseen hours in the gym? Just really you two alone. What stands out from those?
Yeah, he said it really well because, I was quiet at that time. He was a quiet young player. It didn't take very long to realize, whoa, this is a much bigger responsibility than probably Stan even realized, that he was putting on a young assistant, to be able to do the player development. But at the end of the day, what it came down to is I was just shagging balls for him, and he was an ambitious, fierce competitor, and a young player who wanted to stake his claim on this league. So he was very willing to put in the time, behind the scenes when no one was watching. And that's how you develop those relationships when there's no pressure. There's no cameras. There's no storylines to it. Nobody knew who I was. And those are beautiful moments that I'll treasure. Even finishing a workout and you're just hanging out in a gym and no one else is there and you're just talking shop. But again, like as you fast forward, then it's the discussions then are, so much more basic than they were the last 2 years. We're talking about family, being fathers, raising children, and advice, both ways, things that, we're both curious about life. That is gold. And I treasure that opportunity to have that, at the end of his career.
Erik, what's it about this place and the way you play here? Even tonight, you come out, you hit the first 4 threes. Everyone feels great, seemingly, except for the rare blips here. What's so different that you do this here and not as much not here?
Well, we'll figure it out. We're going to keep on working at it until that changes, or until the time runs out. That's the one thing I'll give this group credit for is they're not afraid to own it and work on it. We're all, frustrated about some of our road games, but again, I mentioned it before. We're not as far on the road as it seems. We just haven't been able to finish. We've had some brilliant finishes here in front of our fans, but we've had a lot of those road games where we've been up in the fourth quarter, and we just need to figure it out how to get that over the top.
And then another basketball question. You always talk about stay ready, so you'll be ready. Kelly Olynyk, starting, not starting, playing, not starting, and then he does what he did for you tonight. What does that say about Kelly?
Well, he, again, was one of those guys that spent a lot of time in yesterday, and it's not something that happens overnight. He is very consistent with his approach, his work ethic, and watching film. He's probably in the weight room right now, riding the bike, getting extra cardio in. So you do all your prep. It doesn't guarantee anything, but it gives yourself the best chance to be able to perform and help the team. There have been some moving parts. None of these are excuses, but there is a reality. We're bringing in 3 new players. We had, just as we brought them in, 2 players that were prominently in our rotation. Myers, starting that group was set, goes out, and then Tyler, basically with Goran anchoring that second unit, goes out. So there have been some moving parts, that the head coach is trying to stabilize a little bit and trying to figure out where we can help with that. And with Jimmy out tonight, we just felt like this group, the starting lineup, that group has played together. They felt comfortable. At least we would have one part of the lineup that was not too fluid.
Coach, after the past few games, some people in the media have been critical of the Heat's ability to be a championship contender. What do you say after such a strong win like you had tonight to those people that still doubt the championship caliber of this team?
I don't know. I could give a... Close your ears, Casey. SHIT. What? Now, you are part of the media, right? So I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. On down the line.
Coach, I know you had a lot of questions about Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade is a local hero, everything, but he's very famous in China. You traveled to China before. Can you talk about his impact, globally?
He's global. Come on, he's not just 305. He's more popular than Manny Pacquiao and me in the Philippines. Now, that's crazy. Now, he and I have already been talking about that. I do these trips with the NBA, and he brought it up last year on the last game here at home. He pulled me aside and asked me when I'm going back, and he wants to join. And then UD heard that. So if we can make that happen, I'll go on their coattails to the Philippines and have an incredible give-back trip over there. That'd be 10x of any trip that I've gone on with the NBA. But certainly in China, he's global. We all wear the Li Nings now too, so it's cool to see. If we do that, and I'd love to travel not only to the Philippines first, but then go to China. He does that trip with UD every year. I'd love to at least spend 3 or 4 days with him there. That'd be pretty cool. All right? Thank you.